Why the last planner system might be holding you back. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about why I love Last Planner, but why it may be holding you back if you're pairing it with CPM. I'm going to talk about the very specific ways that it might be holding you back and what you can do to fix it. So if you're ready for that, you've come to the right place. So I'm going to head over here to my marker board over here to the flip chart and explain what the Last Planner system is in the most simplest form. So the Last Planner system says you must have a master schedule, okay? Typically, especially because I'm putting in here schedule, typically that's CPM. From there, we take milestones from the master schedule and we do what's called a pull plan. Okay. Once we do the pull plan, we do what's called look ahead planning. That is typically, I like to do it 6 weeks out. Then we will do what's called weekly work planning, where we coordinate an execution plan a week out. Then we do what's called day planning. Okay. And then we track our results with what's called percent plan complete or percent of promises complete. So the idea here with the master schedule to have an overall master schedule that has the different milestones to it. And the idea is to make sure that those milestones are committed and accurate. Then we pull that milestone down inside the Last Planner system and we pull plan with our trade partners and make sure that we have the right sequence, durations, weigh-in, buy-in, and commitment from the trade partners. Once that happens, it will go into a format of your choosing, whether it goes back up into this format or into a separate one, and you will have different activities and you look 6 weeks out, okay? And the idea there is that you should be looking for possible roadblocks and making work ready. From there, when you're able to commit 100%, we have the weekly work plan. And the weekly work plan enables you to really make the trade partners to make 100% commitments for what they're going to execute the next week. These right here then get transferred out into the day plan where you coordinate in your daily huddle with trade partners, right? And you make your plan, okay? And then if any of these activities that are a part of the plan do not get met, then the idea is to track that inside a percent plan complete score and to find the root cause and to fix it in the future, okay? So the idea there is you want above 80%. And when they've, Last Planner, even with how well it doesn't work with CPM, they have identified that projects that hit over 80% of their percent of promises complete are typically anywhere from 0 to 15% under budget and under the overall total schedule. And projects that are under 80% percent plan or percent promises complete are typically 0 to 15% over budget and over on their overall schedule. So I want to talk about in this video where you're going to end up with problems. By the way, I love Last Planner. Let me tell you a secret. One of the most, I'm going to say the word again because I'm on one about this. One of the most prolific lean experts in the industry who's always in the most circles when it comes to LCI and the lean community asked some of the founders of LCI if they've ever seen Last Planner work well 100% effectively on a project, and they said no. And I was sworn to secrecy for names, but I am allowed to repeat that that was the answer. And my observation in the industry is anytime you get above $35, $40 million in contract value and you enter the interiors phase, the most complex phases of a project, the Last Planner system will always break down. And I will tell you why. When you have a master schedule based on CPM, you have a overall schedule which is a wish list. It is either going to be way too short of a duration or way too long. It will be batched, meaning that it will typically consider for large areas, larger zone sizes, when you really should have smaller zone sizes throughout and break the project up much differently, okay? So it's wasting weeks and months The other thing is these sequences aren't shown correctly because they're not in a time by location format. So all of these milestones are wrong. So you're already starting off in the wrong on the wrong foot. So if you use CPM, everything else in the system breaks down. So then when you actually take this milestone and attempt to pull plan to it, because you're not in a takted format, again, you, instead of breaking it out and pull planning by zone, you're typically pull planning large batched areas. That's going to, like I said, waste weeks or months. At best, it will generally guess on the right zone size, but it will still be targeting the wrong duration. So you'll be attempting to fit a pull plan inside this duration inaccurately, and you'll either be undercutting and hurting the trade partners, or you will be wasting time and just throwing it away because you don't have the right milestone. So because this milestone is not correct, this milestone will not be correct, and everything inside the pull plan will be a problem. The other thing is, typically people will take this pull plan and loop it back in to the overall CPM schedule. This is a mistake because then this gets too detailed. Nobody can now see the plan. Nobody uses it. So although they did go through the pull planning effort, they cannot see it. Now, some people are like, well, hey, we're not going to do that. We're way ahead of you, J-Money. We'll just keep this pull plan out separate on a wall or put it into a different format, like some kind of software or a BIM 360 plan or somewhere like disconnected from the rest of the overall schedule. And so that means that now the pull plan is disconnected from here, which means that you no longer have vertical alignment, meaning when something here changes or here changes, it doesn't update the other. So now you have two disconnected schedules in different formats, and that's now starting to hurt you. So you have the problem there with the pull plan. You also have it with the look-aheads and weekly work plans. If they're not actually in the same overall schedule, it's detached and you do not have vertical alignment. But at a minimum, when you are actually taking this down, whether it's in the same file or it's separate and disconnected, your look-ahead plans are not based on flow. I'm going to put an X here. This look-ahead planning is based on just random chaotic activities throughout the overall CPM schedule, meaning it does not simulate trade flow. It does not say trade partner 1, trade partner 2, trade partner 3. It does not simulate that flow. It actually does not have a flow. So even if you're doing look-ahead, make-ready planning, the activities will still not hit because they are not working from zone to zone to zone. And also you'll have a problem with your weekly work plan because you don't have that flow. But typically here, because you don't have a takt plan from which to derive this, the general contractor will basically say, hey, trade partners, everybody give me your weekly work plan activities. Email them to me. I'll go ahead and combine it into this impossible weekly work plan that's so long nobody can see or manage. Hey, let's go through it and make commitments. And trade partners are like, this took me 4 hours to already make. I don't understand this, I guess. And then you distribute the weekly work plan and nobody can follow it, and it's not based on a flow, and you can't meet the commitments because it doesn't have that flow. So you're wasting trade partners' time, they can't see it, and you can't spend the time to actually vet it, which means that when you're in the day planning phase, you're actually not doing day planning. Typically, people will abandon this and just literally like willy-nilly, like go out and say, what can we do tomorrow? Let's just do the best we can. So they're actually not doing any real filtering of their plans to the daily plan. They're only talking about labor and where they are on the project site instead of real things like handoffs, flow, roadblocks, constraints, things that actually indicate flow. And because they're not hitting their dates, because this isn't realistic, the PPC will not be effective, it will not be above 80%, and we will not be tracking real things. And when we go into the variance, people are like, I don't know what the variance is, I don't know how to fix it with a root cause analysis, because it's not easily seen why this isn't working, because it all ties back to this improper schedule. Okay, so this is a problem. There's many more problems with this. This is just on the surface. And this video would be 20 minutes if I started to talk about how to fix it. But what we'll do in the description below is link you to how to work the last planner system based off of Takt. All of these problems go away. When you use Takt, you have the right milestones, you're able to pull plan it correctly, you don't waste weeks or months, it's a proper sequence, it's in the same format, in a flow, same format, commitments are real, trade partners don't have to waste their time, you're able to actually see the commitments and the handoffs, you're actually able to filter that into a day plan, make real plans, stop talking about labor counts and where they're going to be and start talking about handoffs, roadblocks, constraints, and real issues, track real PPC, find real root causes, and really start to make the overall system work. So everything wrong with Last Planner is CPM. If you want to fix this, you will get rid of CPM as the master schedule and replace it with Takt. If you've enjoyed this and seen this insightful, or you're like, dang, Jay Money's right, it always fails, and now you're appreciating the fact that you have a solution, please like and subscribe to the video. And in the description below, we will link you to our book about Takt Planning, to the Takt Production System course, and to the videos that show you how you can fix it. I hope you've enjoyed this video. On we go.